So our theme is starting to come together really well. We have some of these subtle interactions working, and it's working really smoothly. But let's actually fix the mobile view, because right now when we go into mobile view, we see that the cart looks a little bit messed up, and we don't have the mobile navigation set up. So let's go ahead and do that. For the first part, let's navigate into our mini cart class. And just after the before selector, let's add an include for our phone. And we can say position fixed. And for the width, we'll calculate it to be 100 view width minus 50 pixels. Then the height, we'll want it to be 100%. And overflow X, let's do hidden. So if we hit save and go back to our website and just hit refresh, the mini cart is finished now. My browser is lagging a little bit just because of the recording. So now the mini cart is gone and we need a way to get it back. So let's go inside of our header.liquid file, and then just underneath our header inner and above this menu drawer, let's create a new div, and the class name for this div will be header mobile. And then inside of here, let's create an A tag with a class name of header title. And for the href, we'll just put a slash to take us to the home page. And then inside of here, we'll do the same thing as for the desktop menu, and we'll say shop.name. Then after that, let's create another div with a class name of mobile-nav. And inside of this mobile nav, let's create a button with the class name of mobile nav button. And then inside of there, we'll have a span, and inside of the span, we'll say menu. And then what we can do now is just copy this button down over, and we will say cart for this one. And the reason we wanted to be the same class name is just so that we can hit both of them at the same time when we're styling it. So let's do at click equals toggle menu. And then for the cart one, we can say at click equals toggle mini cart. All right, perfect. That should be good for our navigations. So let's go ahead into application.scss now. And now let's see where we have our header. And just underneath everything at the bottom here, let's create a new comment. And we'll say start mobile nav. And then we can select the header mobile class name, and we can say that we want the height to be 72 pixels and display flex. And then justify content, we'll say space between, and then align items, we'll give it center, and border bottom, we can give it 1 pixel and solid and black. And then we'll just say display none for this, just because we don't want it to display for desktop. And then for the actual include for phone, we'll say display flex. Okay, perfect. So we have the actual mobile header, but now let's do the mobile nav as well. So we can just go down and we'll say dot mobile nav. And for this, we'll say position fixed, bottom 25 pixels, left 0, right 0, and padding will give it 0 and 25 pixels. And then Z index will give it 10, just because when the actual menu is open, we don't want the mobile nav to be on top of it still. We want to actually kind of hide it a little bit. And then we'll say display flex and justify content space between. Now for the mobile buttons, we can say dot mobile nav button, and we'll give it border of 1 pixel, solid and black. And then padding, we'll say 10 pixels. And border radius, we'll give it 25 pixels. And then background, we'll say white. And Z index will also be 10. Okay, perfect. So let's hit save now and go back inside of our website and refresh. And then this thing kind of gets in the way. So let's hit hide bar. And now we can see that the menu looks pretty good. So as we're scrolling, it stays in one spot. And then when we hit the menu, it opens it up. And then for the cart, it also opens the cart. So the only thing is that the shadow wasn't working for the mini cart, and that's because we had, for our mini cart class, for the phone, we had the overflow X hidden, so we can just remove that. And the shadow should be working now. And if we just hide this bar again, which is kind of annoying, but as we can see now, the header stays with the whole website. So whenever we go to a different portion of the website, we can always see the title of the website. And this actually brings us to the next step, is we need to fix this collection page. Because right now it looks the same way as it does on the desktop version, but on the mobile, we want it to look a little bit differently. We want it to work like this, where each of the item takes up 100% of the screen, and we can just scroll through the pictures. And then we can just add this little touch here, but it's really not necessary. I just thought it looked pretty cool, and a lot of trendy websites are doing it right now, so why not? So let's go back here and let's see what we need to do. So first of all, we need to fix this title of the collection page, and then we need to make sure that the images are taking up 100% of the width. So let's go ahead back inside of our application.scss, and then let's search for the product card class name. And then we can add an include for our phone. And we can say that we want the width to be 100% here. And that should take care of the width for the product card. And now we can just scroll through the images, which is a really cool experience. Not a lot of e-commerce websites have this going on, and I think it's a nice way to be able to see all the images without actually just going to the product page right away. Now let's do the collection page title. So if we go just above here where we say start collection, we can add the collection title, and we can say dot collection title. And inside of here, we can say padding 60 pixels and 0. And then font size, we want it to be 24 pixels. And margin bottom, 32 pixels. And then border bottom, we can give it 1 pixel, solid and black. And then text align, we can give it center. And line height, 1.2. And then for the background, it's kind of a long list of things, so I'm just going to copy this and I'll have it in the description for this lecture. So now let's save this. And let's see how our product page looks. Excuse me, our collection page. Okay, perfect. So it looks pretty good. And we have this funky gradient going on, and then in desktop, it looks a little bit different. And then the products go back to 1/3 of the width. And for mobile, it looks really good as well. So we can click on this image here, and now we can check out how our add to cart works. And there we go. cart is empty now. So the only thing missing now is actually these little buttons that we have inside of our product page. So let's go ahead and add those as well. Going back inside of our application.scss, let's search for where we have the product option row. And inside of here, what we can do is we can select the product option label, and then we'll select the before again. And then we will also select the add to cart button and the before selector as well. And then inside of here, we'll give it empty content again, and we'll give it width 11 pixels and height 11 pixels. And then we'll do position absolute, and we'll give it right 25 pixels and top 50%. And then transform, we'll do translate Y and minus 50% just to make sure that it stays in the middle. And then background, we'll say current color, and border radius will be 50% because we want it to be a circle. So let's see how it looks now. We go back inside our website and let's just exit the mobile view and refresh. And there we go. So we have these funky buttons here that add a little bit of character to our product page. And we can just add to cart and everything is working as it should. Perfect. The only thing left to fix now is the footer. And we just want to have everything inside of a column instead of rows like this, but this doesn't look too bad either. But then when we go into a bit of a smaller view, then this kind of gets messed up. So let's go ahead and fix this as well. Back inside of our application.scss, let's find our footer class names. So for the footer inner, let's add an include for our phone. And we will say here, flex direction to be column. And then just down below, we can select the footer left and the footer right class names. And we can say width to be 100%. And then we can also add a padding bottom of 25 pixels. And let's see how it looks now. I think it looks pretty decent. We can definitely separate this product page with something like a recommended product section so that the footer is not right up against the actual product selector here. But as of now, I think it looks pretty good. Now, the last thing we want to do is fill out the product page. So right now, we don't have the bottom sections like we do in our website here. So let's go ahead and add those as well. We'll add another hero image. And let's select an image here. Perfect. And now let's just select the rich text as well. And let's copy the text here. We can just delete this. And now if we hit save, our website is 100% complete. The only thing that we actually have left to do now is go inside of our theme.liquid, and we need to remove the non-product version of Vue.js, because what's happening right now, let me show you, is that we can actually access Vue.js. So what we have here is a Vue.js extension that you can download, and we can actually see all of the data and objects and stuff like that. And we don't want to have this be available to people going on our website, and especially developers. So what we can do now is we can comment this one out and uncomment the production .js one now. And let's hit save and refresh this. And you'll see now that this should go away, but that's because we were already on it. But right now it says Vue.js not detected, even though we are using Vue.js and everything is still working. So the reason it's not detected is because we removed the development version of our Vue.js. So now the only thing available is the production one, which doesn't show all of the data that we're working with. So as promised, let's talk about the deprecation of Shopify's SCSS. While it's still available on themes and you can still use SCSS, Shopify is really discouraging new theme developers from implementing it into their themes. But that doesn't mean that we can't develop with SCSS, which is what we did. Now, without using any compilers or bundlers, we're kind of left with this SCSS theme, but there's an easy fix. So let's go ahead and copy all of our SCSS. And then we can open up this website called jsonformatter.org/SCSS to CSS. And basically, it just converts all of your SCSS to CSS without any Webpacker or bundler or compiler or anything like that. So we can keep our theme very simple. And then if we want to actually launch our theme to production, we can just convert everything to regular CSS. So let's go ahead and paste this here. And we can just click on this button. So now we can select everything here. And let's copy this and go back inside of our code and create a new file inside of our assets. And we'll call this application.css.liquid. And now we can just paste everything here. But we can see that there are some areas where there's some formatting issues. And so we can just easily fix this. Just removing those spaces, and that fixes that part. And now we have the same thing here. And this isn't necessarily an issue, but it just doesn't look nice. But this will still work just fine. But I prefer to fix these formatting issues. And then we have another one here as well. Okay, perfect. And I believe there's one more. Yep, just for the fonts as well. Okay, perfect. So we removed all of the formatting issues. So let's go ahead and save this. And now inside of our theme.liquid, we can copy this over and we can just comment this one out. And now for this one, we'll just remove the SCSS part. And let's go and save that. And now if we go back inside of our theme, we can see that everything works just like I did before, maybe just a little bit quicker. I haven't personally noticed any difference with SCSS and CSS, but if Shopify is recommending it, why not do it? Especially if you're going to be launching your theme to the Shopify theme store, you definitely want to make sure you're following all of the guidelines provided by Shopify. So this is definitely an easy fix without, going too deep into Webpacker or Bundler. And since we built this theme without any NPM packages or anything like that, this is the best solution, I think, for simplicity's sake. You can definitely download Webpacker and do it automatically, but in order to keep this theme really simple and workable for whoever goes and works on your theme after you, I think this is definitely the simplest way. So thank you so much for sticking through to the end of this course. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope this project will be an amazing portfolio piece for you that will allow you to get some amazing clients and open some incredible opportunities for you. If you enjoyed this course, please leave a review. I would love to hear from you, and I look forward to all of your success. See you on the other side.